Hey there, it's your boy Dr. Eric Patrick, aka the Hip Hop Stock Doc, and I'd like to welcome you to my special event, How to Secure the Bag in the Stock Market Regardless of Your Experience. Now, before I get started, I'd love to know where you're viewing from, as I'm chilling here in Dallas, Texas. Go ahead and comment your location below, as I'm always interested in visiting new places. I mean, who doesn't like to travel? You like to travel too, right? Go ahead and comment the last place you visited as well. Now, let me see if any of these sound like you. You've always wanted to invest, but simply haven't. Been there. Tried investing before, but just didn't really get it. Done that. And you actively invest now, but seem to always be going in the wrong direction with your money. Definitely done that. So do any of these sound like you? If so, then you're probably missing a few key steps to making Cardi B money moves to secure the bag. Now today I'm not going to talk about money, and you probably think like Chris Rock, like bruh, like what are you talking about? What I am going to talk about is what I do when it comes to investing money and how you can do the same, but with your goals in mind. How does that sound? I know that's pretty cool, right? Now, for those of you who stay until the end, I have a special gift for you. I'm going to give you my guide on the 5 things to know before you buy a stock. It's absolutely free, no cost to you at all, 100%. How does that sound? I know that's pretty cool. Who doesn't want to know the 5 things to know before you buy a stock? So stick around to the end, and I'm going to share with you a special link in order to get that. As you saw from the title of the event, today is about securing the bag in the stock market, which is not so fancy talk for making money. I mean, who really doesn't like to make money? Don't you? I know I do. Now, for my fellas watching, I already know what you're thinking. Yo, E, I don't carry a purse, man. But stay with me here, because I'm talking about the money bag. Not to mention, if you buy your lady a bag by securing the bag, then that's what I like to call a win-win. I mean, comment below if you like to achieve the win-win. Winning twice is way better than winning once, right? Of course it is. Now let me give you a little bit of background about me, because you're probably thinking like, who is this guy? Is he some man of mystery? Is he a wannabe rapper since he's talking about hip hop stock doc? But let me kind of give you just some more information. So I'm a pharmacist by trade. So yes, I am a legal drug dealer here in Dallas, Texas. This is me graduating from Howard University. I've also done countless interviews, including the Ash Cash Show. I've been on Brown Ambition podcast, which is huge, and I've even been featured here in Voyage Dallas, which is a large local publication, and it's actually in a few other cities where they feature entrepreneurs and just business-minded people just doing some great things. I served on panels for the Urban League and spoken with them as well. And I'm also just seen as a leading financial influencer, specifically in the investing space. And I participate in the largest financial bloggers conference, also known as FinCon. So think of Comic-Con, but for money. Now, before I joked about bags, but a win-win is a real thing. I mean, have you ever wanted something or to do something, whether if it was big or small, and money could help you do it? Well, that's exactly how I got into investing. So my wife and I were young and ambitious when we moved to Dallas. We were avid savers. We bought a house, partied with our friends, because we thought that that's where we needed to be. Like, that's what we needed to do. But when my wife and I were expecting our first child, Elena, we knew she was going to have to leave work and stay at home to raise her. That meant we were going to become a single income household. Are you experiencing that? Like, have you ever been through being like in a single income household? Did that provide any restraint to you? How did that make you feel? Mind you, we had just bought a house the year before. So like everyone else, we decided we needed to decrease our recurring bills as much as we could, but we knew we needed to also pay down debt and make more money in order to maintain the lifestyle we currently were living and raise a child at the same time. Now, whether you have a child or not, don't you want to pay off debt and make more money too? I mean, who doesn't want to make more money? And it's not for the sake of making more money. It's for the sake that what more money can allow you to do, what it can allow you to achieve. Now, we thought, where is this money going to come from? And then that's where the stock market came in. Since then, I've learned how to invest for our future goals, trade for our present ones, and started both of my daughter's investing accounts, which I'll teach them the game once they're old enough. Now, let me tell you what I won't do. I'm not going to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not going to teach you how to day trade or give you stock recommendations. I'm not going to share falsified information, and I'm definitely not going to waste your time. However, what I will do is share the 3 secrets that have helped me invest. I'm going to share my investing strategies that I personally use. I'm also going to show you opportunities that many people don't know when trading the stock market. And lastly, I'm going to show you how I find buy and sell opportunities when it comes to stocks. Now, wouldn't you like to be a better investor, whether you've invested before or not? I know when I started investing, I was like, I definitely want to just get in there, and I've had my lumps along the way. I've had my ups and downs, but I'm better for it. And with that, I'm ready to share with you what can make you a better investor. So, are you ready to be a better investor today? Cool. So let me show you my secret number one. And the number one secret that I have for you is it's a simple trick I use to keep cash ready to invest. A lot of people say that I just don't have the money. I don't have any extra money to invest. Like, what are you talking about? You're crazy, bro. But you do. And it's what I like to call couch money. And you can find couch money not only through your budget, but through doing savings challenges. Savings challenges are one of the biggest factors that I use in order to save money specifically to invest. And I do that by, just sticking to the script. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, but it actually takes 66 days for that habit to stick. And savings challenges are awesome for that. You can repeat them. Some of them are long, some of them are short. You can do multiple at the same time. And it's just awesome. And it just helps you find this couch money that can be so great in helping you just fund your investment accounts and actually invest. And I mean, like, who doesn't love finding money? I've had times where I've like lost money. I look in the couch and it's there, or it's in a pocket in some jeans that I had on the other day. I mean, like, who doesn't love just finding money? It's just such an awesome feeling. And savings challenges actually force you to find more money in order to stick to the challenge. So the biggest challenge that I do is the 52-week challenge. And the way it works is you save a dollar amount based on the week that it is in that year. So if it's the first week, you save $1. The second week, you save $2. The third week, $3. And by the 52nd week, you save $52. At the end of the year, you've saved almost $1,400 simply by saving these amounts every week. Like, who doesn't want to save almost $1,400? Like, I know I want $1,400 more dollars today, and I'm already doing the challenge. One way that you can really start this is you look at your budget. And I actually use a bossing up budget because, who is not trying to boss up out here? Are you trying to boss up? I know I am. So I use a bossing up budget to help me see where I'm overextending myself, if I have even extra cash, and then I start implementing that with the challenge as well. But the challenge is really what's helping me, stay on point. It's keeping me honest. You don't want to break the chain. And by doing this challenge, I've actually able to save a lot of money and put that into my daughter's investing accounts. So my older daughter, Elena, as you can see, she has over $4,000 in her investment account, and she's only 3 years old. Like, that's crazy, right? Like $4,000. My daughter, Elise, who's not even one, she's already got almost $300 in her account already. It's just like, it's amazing. So being able to do this 52-week challenge allows me to save for my daughters. Now, you may be thinking like, yo, E, what about when Christmas time comes? It's holidays. I'm trying to get some gifts for people. I can't be saving $52 the last week, or I definitely can't save $104 if I'm doing it twice. So what can I do? What I like to do is I like to reverse engineer the 52-week challenge. So for my daughters, I do it in order as stated on the previous slide. But for the other daughter, I reverse it. So for one, I'm doing $1, $2, $3. For the other daughter, I do $52, $51, $50. So every week throughout the year, I'm just saving $53 for the both of them to invest. And that way, it just helps me stay on track. And by the time Christmas comes, I'm not having to save, over $100 every single week while Christmas time is here. So that's a definitely way to reverse engineer. If you're doing it for yourself, I highly recommend doing it backwards, starting with $52 and working your way down. That way, by the end of the year, you don't have to worry about such a big burden to contribute. Another challenge that I'm also doing is the 31-day challenge by Freeman Capital. It's a wealth management company. I saw it online. They were doing this 31-day challenge, and it's similar to the 52-day challenge in that you save a dollar amount, but instead of that dollar amount based on the week, you save it based on the day. So day 1, you save $1. Day 2, you save $2. Day 3, you save $3. And by 31, you save $31. Or you can just do 30 days, and the day 31 is like a celebration day. So you would save $30. Essentially, you will have saved $500 in a month. Like, who doesn't want to save $500 in a month? Do you want to save $500 in a month? I know I do. If you double it, you could save $1,000 in a month. And that's what I do for my daughters as well. So on top of doing the 52-week challenge for their investment account, I actually have a savings account for them that I'm doing this Freeman challenge, and I'm just doubling it up. So instead of saving $1 a day, I do $2 on day one, $4 on day two, $6, so on and so forth. And now, after about 3 weeks, I have $600 in a savings account for my daughters. That's $300 a piece. So not only do they have over 4,000 and almost 300 in an investment account, but they both have $300 also in a savings account. So these savings challenges have helped me save and invest for my daughters at the same time. Like, that's amazing. Like, who doesn't want to do that? The last savings challenge that I have for you is the $5 bill challenge. If you're not familiar, if you're somebody that uses cash a lot, if you go out, you buy something, and you get change back, then you can use you keep your $5 bills, stash it in a shoebox, Crown Royal bag, whatever you want to put it in. But essentially, yeah, you want to save that $5 bill, and you do that throughout the year. And at the end of the year, you can see how much you saved. And I personally don't really carry a lot of cash, so I don't participate in this challenge. But if you do, it's amazing at what can happen. And my friend Chris here is a prime example of that. He told me he was able to save over $3,000 in a year just by saving his $5 bills. Who the heck doesn't want to save over 3 G's? Like 3 bands? Like, that's crazy. So it almost got me thinking, like, maybe I should carry some cash so I can save over 3,000. In addition to what I'm already doing. But it's just amazing. So if you're someone who definitely keeps cash, you use cash when you buy things, I would definitely recommend the $5 bill challenge, so you can save some extra money. Now I want to show you how we do my second secret. And my second one is going to be the easiest allocation system, so you know where to invest your money today. So we've talked about how to get money to invest, finding that couch money, and now you could park it in your investment account, but you don't want it to sit there because it's not going to make any money. So now where do you put your money into in order to make it grow? And we're going to use a simple age calculator. So let me ask you, how old are you? Go ahead and comment below. Let me know how old you are. Don't be shy, but if you don't want to share, that's cool as well. Just keep that in mind as we go through this calculation. So also be mindful that at any age you can achieve your dream. So I say this because everybody says you have to start early, you have to start now. Yes, you do. You should start early and start now. But if you're in your 50s, your 60s, there's nothing wrong with starting now at that time either. So whether if you're 19 years old or you're 65 years old, you can achieve your dreams. Just make sure that you're starting now. So using the age asset calculation, we're going to simply take 100 and subtract our age, and that's going to give us our percentage stock allocation, and our age is going to be our bond allocation. So let's say that you're 30 years old. 30 from 100 is 70. So 70% of your money should be put into stock allocation, and 30% should be in a bond allocation. Now, let me kind of clear this up a little bit. So I don't want you to think that you only have to buy stocks and bonds, because there are so many other investments out there. But think of it like 70% can be in moderately or aggressive investing, and 30% should be more of the safer investing. So if you're putting 70% in stocks, you can put that in ETFs. You can do, Forex. You could do cryptocurrency, whatever it is you want to put it in. I mean, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket in one of those things. Maybe you could spread it around. But 70% of your allocation should be towards a more aggressive type of investment. Something that's relatable to a stock in terms of its return. 30% bond allocation is, of course, bonds. But I mean, who's really buying bonds out here? Like, are you buying bonds? I know I'm not buying bonds, not directly. So what you can do is you can buy like a bond ETF, which gives you the same, the same kind of a asset. Or, this might be in your money market accounts or your CDs or certificate of deposits, as they're called. These are going to be your more safer investments. So yes, you subtract your age, and that's going to give you your stock allocation, and your age is your bond allocation. But think of it more on a bigger scale in terms of, how much should I be putting in towards a more, riskier investment, or a safer investment. And this is really helpful because there are so many people who feel like they just don't know what to buy. Simply just using your age is going to allow you to know what your allocation should be, and it's just great. I mean, how easy was that? Literally, you put your age, subtract it from 100, and that tells you how you should invest your money. So I talked about you can invest at any time. So be mindful that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you think about when I was talking about the age allocation, you're probably asking me like, E, do I need to change this every year, or how often should I change that? So I say like every 5 years is actually pretty cool. So if you're 30, maybe wait until you're 35 to change your allocations to 65-35. And then once you hit 40, change it to 60/40. So I definitely think that you don't have to do it every year, but it's really what's best for you. See, see what you're comfortable with. But at least it's a starting point for you to kind of get going. So what I do is when I'm looking at my allocations is I have everything in a spreadsheet, and it allows me to see what I'm invested in, how much I own of it, how much I've made, and how much am I if I'm overextended or not. So I mentioned the age allocation, and so right here you see all stock. So I might have a couple like bond ETFs or other investments, but this, let's just say this is my 70% stock allocation. So within that, I can see how much money I've made from each stock, how much money I've lost from each stock, and if I haven't made any money or lost any money at all. You can see Coca-Cola and Disney as well as Nike are just stagnant at this time. Ford and L Brands have lost money. If you're not familiar, L Brands is Victoria's Secret. So this has allowed me to really see how well something is doing or not doing. In the weight category, you can see that the ones over 10% are in red. So that's letting me know that I'm overextended in those stocks as far as in my portfolio allocation. So now I need to know that, okay, maybe I should sell some, or I don't need to buy any more of those stocks. I should buy something else. That's exactly what it's doing. And this just gives me a nice snapshot of that. So I highly recommend, a portfolio tracker just to see how everything is going. Your broker may have some things in there. Of course, you'll be able to see how well you're doing, but a lot of times people have more than one broker, or they might have an account for them, their family, or whatever. So this allows you to, create something of your own and make it for yourself. So as you can see here, I have my profit allocation snapshot. So I talked about if I was overextended, how much I made in each individual stock. Now I have a total line here to see how much I'm making overall. So I made 34% on my stock holdings, and I have an unrealized profit. If you're not familiar, when investing, you have unrealized profit and realized profit or gains. And realized means that you've actually sold something and you've collected those funds. Unrealized means you haven't sold. So sometimes you might hear someone saying, oh, I'm making money in the stock market, but until you have actually sold those stocks, you have a unrealized profit. And then I have my total historical ROI or return on investment under it. So this includes anything that I've done also in the past in terms of I've bought something and I've sold it that's not in my current portfolio. So in my current portfolio, you can see I've made 34%. But in my historical, I've only made 30%, which is still great, but that means that I've had a few investments that maybe didn't do so well and I got rid of them. And that's what the total historical one is all about. Now I want to share with you my last secret, number 3. And this one you're going to love. It's how I increase my chances of profitability by more than 60% in the stock market. And you're probably thinking like, E, you are crazy. How can you increase your profitability by over 60% in the stock market? And it's crazy because it's not even like rocket science. Like, it's so clear to me. So yes, I know how to increase my chances by 60+%, and you can do the exact same thing. So most folks think that you can only make money when the stock goes up. And that's just a traditional mindset. However, you can make money in 2 other ways. Do you want to know what those 2 other ways are? You can actually make money when the stock goes down or it goes sideways. And you probably think like, how can you do that? Like, you are crazy. But let me show you. So let's do some math first. So I mentioned that there's 3 ways that you can make money in the stock market: up, down, and sideways. So that's 3 directions. 2 of the directions aren't utilized. Most people do not realize that you can make money when the stock market goes down or when it goes sideways. 2 divided by 3 is 0.667. Multiply that by 100, you get 66.7%. That means that I have increased my chances of profitability in the stock market by over 60% simply by knowing that I can make money by the stock going down or going sideways. I know it blew your mind. Like, it's so strange that nobody knows these things or nobody is teaching us these things. But I just had to give you the game. I had to show you what it was like. So now let's look at some charts to validate this. I'm going to show you how you make money in the stock market going up, down, and sideways. So here's a stock of Apple. Now, any of the stocks that I'm going to mention, I'm not saying that you should buy or sell them. It's just strictly for teaching purposes. I have the gray bubbles on here to show you where the stock started and where the stock ended. And it goes from left to right. As you can see, Apple has went up over time. It started low, it went high. This is the typical mindset: buy low, sell high. Most people are doing this one step, and you are only going after 33% of what you can make in the stock market. Now let's look at Under Armour. This stock has been going down. If you look at the gray bubbles, it went from top top left to bottom right. What you can do here is you could do put options. Put options are a way to buy a stock at a higher price and sell it to someone at a lower price. But you don't actually own the stock; you just own rights to the stock, and it is a great way to trade the stock market when it's going down. So while you have long-term investments that are going up, maybe you trade call options and make also some more money going up, and maybe you don't. But if you have long-term investments and you're just holding them for the long term, and you want to make money in case the market comes down, put options are a way to do that, and you can make money when the stock market goes down. Lastly, JCPenney's is a great example of the stock going sideways. You can see here for quite a few years, the stock went sideways. It stayed within what is known as a channel. If you look at the gray bubbles, it went up, it went down, it went up, and went down. So yes, they went up and down as the previous two examples, but over the bigger picture, the stock stayed sideways. And this is known as channeling. You can make money off of this channel by just trading the stock channel. You buy it when it's at one price point, sell it at the other one. So you can buy the stock low, sell it high, and then get a put option and buy it high and then sell it low. And that's exactly how you can make money off of this channel. Another way that you can make money off the stock going sideways is through dividends. So let's say you don't want to trade. Maybe it's too risky. It's too much for you. You could just have a stock that pays a dividend. And I mentioned before a few stocks that didn't make me any money but didn't lose me any money, but they all pay dividends. And now I can get paid that dividend while the stock has been stagnant. So now that I've shared you my 3 secrets, I want to introduce you an awesome opportunity. I have a Wealthy Start Society that I would love for you to be a part of, and it's going to include my 7-module course. And this 7-module course is going to be packed with everything that you need in order to invest. It's going to talk about budgeting, savings. It's going to have mindset. I talk about my strategy list, which is long-term, income, short-term, and trading. So those are the 4 different ways that I can make money in the stock market. And I also even cover taxes because that's definitely something Uncle Sam is going to want his money for sure. I have my course guide. My course guide, it's super elaborate and extensive, and it's so packed. I go over the budgeting concept, the savings, my cash flow formula in order to keep my accounts with money and investing. I mentioned mindset before, as well as everything about my strategy list. I talk about chart patterns and different, my strategy list. So that long-term, income, short-term, and trading. What I look for long-term investments, what I look for in short-term investments, what I look for in dividend income. When should I sell a stock? When should I buy a stock? When should I sell a stock that pays a dividend? How do I, trade options? Like I talk about all of that in my course guide. You'll also get access to 4 group coaching calls throughout this 8-week program, and they're going to be bi-weekly. So in these coaching calls, you're going to be able to just interact and engage with me live. I'll actually, share my screen, go through charts, show what I may be looking at for the week. You'll be able to share things that you're doing as well. And we can really just kind of go through and just solve what we need to solve and just get you to where you're going. As you can see, I'm charting in this example and just showing you really what it is that I do. And that's what the coaching calls are all about. In addition to the coaching calls, you're going to get access to the private Facebook group for the Wealthy Start Society. And in this group, you'll be able to ask more questions. You'll be able to engage in between those bi-weekly calls. You can share what you're doing. I'll post things in there to kind of keep you on board, things that I found and any other resources in there as well. So it's really just a great community. It's judgment free. And it's just a great supplement to the coaching calls. I'm also going to throw in my Bossing Up Budget workbook. I mentioned about having a budget, and a budget is so key in order to start finding that couch money. And it just really goes through everything. So you can see here, I have it by a bi-weekly budget. And a neat hack that most people don't know is that, most people get paid every 2 weeks, or even if you get paid every week. But there's 52 weeks in a year, or you get paid 26 paychecks. Well, since there's 12 months in a year, technically 24 of those paychecks are really what you can live off of. So you're really getting 2 extra paychecks every single year. And that's going to be extra ways to find money to invest. You're going to have that extra money to do what you need to do to get in the game and secure that bag. But here, as you can see, I have some green boxes and some red boxes. Green boxes, automatically, the formulas are in there for you. You don't really have to do anything but enter in your numbers and your expenses, and it's in your income, and it's going to let you know if you've made more money in certain areas, if you're spending too much money in certain areas, and maybe you need to work on that and stop. You don't have to be overextended in that. I'm also going to throw in my portfolio tracker that I mentioned before. I mean, portfolio tracker is so extensive. On the right side, you can see it's more extensive I gave you a snapshot earlier with the unrealized and total historical, as well as all of the stocks that I own, with how much they've made, how much they've lost, if they're overextended or not. As well as on the left, you can see the dividend tracker. So these are my stocks specifically that pay a dividend. It's set up. All you do is plug in the numbers to where the months that you're getting paid that dividend, and it automatically let you know how much money you're making every month, let you know how much money you're making in dividends from each stock, how much you plan to make. If you look at the bottom, how much you're going to make every quarter in dividend income, and then what is your growth rate? So your growth rate, you definitely want your dividends to grow every single year, so it's going to have that growth rate in there as well. And so all of this is totally valued at over $3,000. But however, today I'm going to give it to you for under $1,000. And yeah, I like you, so I'm going to give it to you for under 1,000. Like, that sounds great, right? Thousands, less than 1,000 is awesome. But I have a few more bonuses for you. So I'm going to give you access to the coaching vault. So remember I mentioned about the 4 coaching calls that are bi-weekly. Now you're going to have access to those calls in a vault. You can access them at any time, lifetime access. So now you can go through those recordings and see if you need to review something else in any future coaching calls. So remind you that you get 4 coaching calls throughout the program, but there will be more coaching calls in the future. So you'll be able to access this vault in the future. You won't be able to participate in the live calls. However, you can access the calls and look at the recordings. Now, I also have my dividend infuser, and if anybody knows me, I love income investing or dividend investing. And so my dividend infuser is essentially, it's a snapshot. It has a calendar on the side. It's got notes for when a company is going to pay out a dividend or when their earnings are. I also have all the stocks in there with their, with how much their dividend is, like their yield, what's the growth rate on it, their payout, and basically I have it as a color code system. And if you have like 4 or 5 of green out of the total of 7, then it's a win for you. That means that stock is probably a good time to buy it. And I update this throughout the program. Once the program is over after the 8 weeks, then you'll have to go in and monitor this yourself, or I'll have that available to where you can subscribe to it, and I'll update that for you in addition. So it's definitely awesome. It just gives you a quick snapshot to say, okay, these stocks are good, these stocks are bad. These stocks I should keep an eye on in regards to dividend paying stocks. So it's just so awesome. And lastly, my chart patterns cheat sheet. When it comes to trading, chart patterns can be very helpful. They can give you an idea of where a stock is going. So I definitely talk about trading within the program. A lot of people might think I'm only can focus on long-term investing or dividend investing, but I also know how to trade. So I'm going to talk about trading, and chart patterns is going to be included in as well. And I have my chart pattern cheat sheet for you, so you can be able to take that, look at stock charts, and just notify right away, like, okay, this is a pattern that's coming up. Now I can look to find buy and sell opportunities. And lastly, I'm going to have my investor glossary, which is so awesome. It's got over 80 investing terms in there, and it's just everything that you'll need, right? That snapshot. These are hand-picked terms that I feel that every investor just needs to know. So you're going to get that also in the program. And that's a total value of over $800, but that's going to be completely free with the course. So definitely check that out. It's going to be free if you enroll in the coaching program for sure. So as you can see, the Wealthy Star Society it's so packed. It's got my 7-module course in there, everything you need to know about my strategy list. It's going to have the course guide included, so you'll get everything. It's basically like the textbook for this class, and it's just so awesome. You're going to get access to the 4 group coaching calls, which is going to be bi-weekly. It's a live session with me and with others. You'll be able to get access to the private community in the Facebook group and just ask questions, share your thoughts. Get my bossing up budget, so that'll keep you on track with where your money is going and where it's coming from, as well as let you know where you may be getting extra money from, or if you're overextended in certain areas, so you can find that couch money and start investing today. I'm also going to give you access to my portfolio tracker, as you saw where it had the dividend tracker, and as well you can see how much you're making, how much you may be losing in something if you are overextended or own too much of a particular investment, and how that should change. And of course, I'm going to throw in the coaching call vault in there because, hey, who doesn't want a coaching call vault? I know you want that, right? So in addition to the live calls, you can access to the recordings of the calls, and you can access those lifetime anytime you need to just go back and review. My dividend infuser is so awesome. I use it just in order to find opportunities to buy and sell dividend paying stocks for that income. I do income investing specifically for my daughter. So when they get older, that they're going to have that consistent income and they're not even going to have to work. They're just going to get that dividend paycheck every month like clockwork. I'm going to throw in my chart patterns cheat sheet as another bonus, and that's going to give you those opportunities to buy and sell things when you're trading, because we are going to talk about trading. Remember my strategy list: long-term investing, income investing, short-term investing, and trading. And of course, my investor glossary, all of that valued at almost $5,000, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you today for just $1,000. So all of that for just $997. Yes, under $1,000. You get the 7-module course, the course guide, 4 group coaching calls, the private Facebook group, and a Bossing Up budget, plus my portfolio tracker and the coaching call vault. So with all the rest of the bonuses, the dividend diffuser, chart patterns, investor glossary. So if you're ready to get started today, work with me. Over 8 weeks, we're really going to get you started, get you going, find that couch money, and secure that bag in the stock market, no matter what your experience level is. Be sure to go to thebmex.com/WS Society. That's WSSOCIETY. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of this screen, and you'll be able to just go ahead and register, or you can register below, and really just kind of get in this program. And I'm really just ready to take advantage of this opportunity. So and if now that you're still here, I definitely want to give you your free gift. Be sure to go to thebmex.com/free gift and go ahead and you can grab the 5 things to know before you buy a stock. I'm so excited to give that to you. These are 5 things that you definitely want to know in order to buy a stock. So now that we have some time, I want to go ahead and answer a few questions that people may have or that have been asking, and so here we go. How long is the program? So essentially, the program is 8 weeks. Like I said, the coaching calls are every 4 weeks. So this is 8 weeks, and it's just awesome time. You have access to the Facebook group for life, so don't worry about that. It's just more so for the coaching call part, just to keep you on track. How many coaching calls are involved? So you get 4 coaching calls, and they're bi-weekly. They're every 2 weeks. If you would like more coaching, then we can talk about that and maybe set something up. But it's definitely 4 included into the program. Is there a payment plan? Yes, you could pay. You can do $997 one time, or you can do $597 per month times 2 months. Of course, you'll save money with the one-time payment, but there is a 2-month payment plan for $597 a month. Can I access future coaching calls? Yes, you'll be able to access the vault for the future calls. However, you won't be able to access the actual live calls themselves. You won't be able to join and participate in those. So if you would like to participate in future calls, then we'll be able to talk about setting something up for you to receive those. It'll just be as an extra opportunity. Will you cover alternative investments like Forex and cryptocurrency? No, but I will cover stock alternatives like ETFs, bond ETFs, REITs, and options, as these are things that are similar to stocks, and you'll also be able to invest in them as well through the same means. Do I have real-time access to the dividend infuser? Yes, while you're enrolled in coaching, you'll have access to the dividend infuser, which this is something that I update throughout the month. And just as things happen when the companies announce their dividend increases and so on and so forth, I will update it. However, after the program is over, the 8 weeks are done, you will not have access to the live updates. You would have to update the dividend diffuser yourself with that data. So if you would like to continue using the dividend diffuser or access to it from me updating it for you, then that's just $10 a month going forward after that. So we can also discuss that as well. Well, if there are no other questions, I thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to sign up for the program at thebmex.com/WS Society. That's WSSOCIETY. Once again, it's great value. It's almost $5,000 worth of just teaching, content, workbooks, guides, so on and so forth. But it's for less than $1,000. So definitely hop on this opportunity. It's $597 a month if you opt for the 2 payments, and $997 one-time payment if you want to get it today. So that's nice savings on that. So thank you once again for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the Wealthy Start Society, and don't forget to grab your free gift, 5 things to know before you buy stock, thebmex.com/free gift. Go ahead and grab your gift today. Thank you.